Good morning, students. I am back with a new video of English 1, that is from the semester 2, unit 4, My Point of View. My Point of View, activity 1. Over 100 UFOs sighted in India, DNA Monday, November 5th, 2012, 1949, IST, place New Delhi, agency PTI. See, this reading is derived from a PTI article published on November 5th, 2012 in DNA from New Delhi. Army troops in India have reported. Troops means what? Soldiers on duty in a large group. Reported more than 100 sightings of unidentified flying objects in the last 3 months. Sighting means what? When we see something or someone, especially that is rare, or trying to hide a rare sight. That is about it. See, it is about around 100 unidentified flying objects that were seen in India by army troops in the last 3 months. Agencies including the Army, DRDO, NTRO, and the ITBP have not yet been able to identify this luminous means producing or reflecting bright light, something glowing, flying object. Some local people believe they are extraterrestrials, that is coming from outside the planet Earth, who have come to Earth from outer space. See, what it is said over here, that different agencies, including the Indian Army, have failed to identify them. And according to local people, what they do not belong to the earth. Army officials said that the 17 corps means a military unit that is trained to perform particular duties, has sent reports to the army headquarters about sighting of UFOs by an ITBP unit. See, according to the report of 17 corps, the yellowish round object that it is said that they have sent a report to the army headquarters about sighting UFOs. Reports suggested that these yellowish spears appeared to lift off from the horizon and slowly travels. Spear means over here round object, and traverse means to move or to travel through an area. The sky for 3 to 5 hours before disappearing. See, what did they say in the report? That the yellowish round object rise from the horizon and slowly travel down through the sky for about 3 or 4 hours and before disappearing. The officials confirmed that these UFOs were not planes or satellites. See, confirm means to make sure. See, the official made sure that those UFOs were not planes or satellites. They said army had also moved a mobile ground based radar. Radar means what? It's a system which use radio waves to find position of object which cannot be seen. It means that radar unit, and a spectrum analyzer means what? Examines an equipment which color in detail in order to discover more about it, or to verify the identity of the object, but could not detect the object that was being tracked visually, indicating it was non-metallic. See, the officials, they made sure that those UFOs were not planes or satellite. Even the spectrum analyzer from the ground based radio unit could not detect the object that were being tracked visually, and they seem to be non-metallic. Army officials expressed concern over the inability of agencies to identify the object. Some believe they could be surveillance equipment or weather instrument. See, surveillance means what? The careful watching of a place. Equipment or weather instrument. See, they seem that it to be a non-metallic. Some believe that they were surveillance equipment or weather instrument. Sources said that similar reports were made 5 or 6 years ago, citing of such object, but the matter was never taken up at the higher level. See, according to the sources, the similar reports were made before for 5 or 6 years about sighting of such object, but matter was never discussed at higher levels. So that this was all about the summary of the this article, which was in the it was in DNA from New Delhi. See, over here it is written, look at the last line of the article. It says, sources said that similar reports were made 5 or 6 years ago. Yes, newspaper reports often use the word source or sources. See, source is written at the last paragraph, said that similar reports. And see, mostly the newspaper reports, often they use this word source or sources without identifying the name of the source. See, why? Because sometimes people do not want their names published in the newspaper. See, sometimes these are identified as anonymous sources, which just means sources who don't want to be named. If your word were published in a newspaper, would you want to publish your name, or would you be anonymous? See, they can give the name, or some of them just shows they do not want to be named. So that was all about this. See, now in this activity 2, UFO stands for unidentified flying object. What does unidentified means? See what they have asked here. What does this unidentified, what it means? And can you identify this flying object? What do you think it is? See, first question, UFO stands for unidentified flying object. And what does unidentified mean? See, there are many objects that are moving about in the space, and they are either sent by man into the space, or they may be celestial body. See, all of them can be easily identified, but sometimes some objects appearing in the sky cannot be identified even with the reader spectrum analyzer or other surveillance equipment. So such objects are known as UFOs, that is unidentified flying objects. So that was the answer of this question. Okay, and the next thing, what is asked, can you identify this flying object? No, as such we are not able from to identify this object through this picture. And what do you think it is? See, I guess it can be a rocket sent into the space. Now moving towards activity 3. Although UFO just means that a flying object has not been identified, many people think of UFOs as spaceship that come from outer space bringing intelligent beings. They call these beings extraterrestrials. What do the word parts extra and terrestrial means? See what they have asked over here. What does the word mean extra as well and terrestrial means over here? See, the word extraterrestrial is made of two parts, and the prefix extra, that is a Latin word, means beyond or not of, and terrestrials means what? Of or belonging to earth. See, as an adjective, the word extraterrestrial means of or from outside the earth, or its atmosphere. And when we talk about as a noun, the word extraterrestrial means a hypothetical or fictional being from outer space. So this means the word extraterrestrial. We know for sure that UFOs exist because UFO simply means object in the sky that we can't identify when we first see them. See what a UFO means? It means some kind of an object which is in the sky, but we are not able to identify it at our first sight. But we do know if extraterrestrials exist. People have many different points of view about extraterrestrials. See, we know, we do, as such, we don't know if extraterrestrial exist over there, but many different points of view comes from the people, their own point of view about extraterrestrials. And we know that from the sure that UFO exists. Why? Because UFO simply means object in the sky, and when we first see them, but we do not know if extraterrestrial really exist. So people have many different points of views about extraterrestrialism. See the 2012 DNA article over 100 UFOs cited in India mentions several different points of view about the possible identification UFOs. Yes, they have made different identifications. See, the possible explanation of UFO that are mentioned in the articles are, see, the different possible explanations for the UFOs that are mentioned in the article. And that is, first of all, we can see that UFOs are said to be luminous flying object. Some local people believe that they are extraterrestrials who have come to the earth from outer space. The third, we can see that reports says that they are yellowish spheres rising from the horizon, and they slowly traverse through the sky for 3 or 4 hours before disappearing. And it is said that if they are tracked visually, they seem to be non-metallic, and some of them believe that they could be surveillance equipment or weather instrument. See, of course, the army officials confirm that UFOs are not planes or satellites. So the answer comes to us that these all are the different possible explanation for the UFOs that are mentioned in the article. Now moving towards our activity 4. See, UFOs is in India, planes or planets. See, now in this, India News Today published July 26, 2013. New Delhi, BBC News reported. See, this report, UFOs in India, planes or planets, was published in India News Today on July 26, 2013. New Delhi, BBC News reported Friday that the Indian Army reportedly has spent 6 months watching what they thought might be airplanes or satellites. Now it appears that they may have been watching the rising and setting each night of Jupiter and Venus. Jupiter, see, it's a planet, fifth planet in order to of distance from Sun after Mars and before Saturn, and Venus, the planet second in order of distance from Sun after Mercury and before the Earth. See, it is the nearest planet of the Earth, Venus. See, it is said over here that this report they quotes different conclusion about watching UFOs from different sources. See, the report says that according to a report by BBC, the Indian Army spent 6 months watching airplanes or satellites, but they must have seen Jupiter and Venus. According to the Calcutta based newspaper, Telegram authorities says 329 sighting of unidentified objects were documented over a lake in the patrolled region, between last August and February. Patrol region means what? An area under watch. So, see here what telegraphs at a Kolkata-based newspaper, they report about 329 sighting over a lake in a patrolled region. Military sources says that the objects seem to regularly rise from the horizon and slowly cross the sky. See what the military source says, they have watched them rising from the horizon and moving slowly across the sky. Army Naik Manmohan Singh reported that he had noticed a delay of 4 minutes in the appearance of one of the object each consequent day. Consequent delay means what is happening later. Then at the fixed time, what we have fixed, it is happening later. And consecutive means what? Means following one another. So it is said uh, that it is appearance one of the object each consecutive day. Singh also said that the objects seem to be the brightest lights in the sky and always appear to move with respect to the star. See, the army Lance Naik Manmohan Singh reports to have noticed a delay of 4 minutes in the appearance of the object each following day. Army official asked the Indian Institute of Astrophysics IIAP Bangalore to identify the object. Our task was to determine whether this unidentified object was celestial or terrestrial. Celestial means what? Of or from the sky or outside this world, and terrestrial, that is related to the planet earth, and extraterrestrial means what? Outside the planet earth. See, IIAP what delimits their job to decide whether the object were celestial or terrestrial. An astronomer Tushar Prabhu told the newspaper, and see the astronomer Tushar Prabhu, he said this. The IIAP team told the Indian Army how to record. The IIAP team told the Indian Army how to record data about the sightings using this data as a source of information. The team of astronomers concluded that the objects observed were the planets Jupiter and Venus. See what is said, they concluded that the object observed were Jupiter and Venus according to the IIAP. The objects appears to be Jupiter and Venus. The IIAP team said stars and planets over the horizon appear very bright because of increased atmospheric transparency at the high altitude, and that both Jupiter and Venus at the time were brightest planets in the sky. See, as what it is, altitudes means height above the sea level. So what they said that according to IIAP, the object appear very bright. Why? Because of atmospheric transparency at the high altitude. And but IIAP finding the hardly acceptable also. See, but not everyone accept this IIP finding. Local farmers have said that they have video tapped objects that do not seem to be planet. UFO experts are saying that there have been so many UFO sighting in the area that there may be an underground UFO base in the area. See what they says over here, but with this IIAP finding they are hardly acceptable to this thing. The local farmers who are there, what did they say? That the UFOs don't seem to do to be planet. UFO experts agree to have seen many UFO sightings, but they also say that there may be an underground UFO base in the area. So in this you can see complete UFOs in Indian planes or planets about it. See here it is said that what is the write up? They give the detail about it. See, write up is a newspaper report that was published in Indian News Today, and it was published in New Delhi. And see, even after spending 6 months watching UFOs, the Indian Army concluded that they might be airplanes or satellites, but in fact, they may have been watching the rising and setting each night of Jupiter and Venus. And see, according to Lance Nayak Manmohan Singh, the shining objects seem to be the brightest light in the sky and always appear to move with respect to the stars. And according to Tushar Prabhu, the job of IIAP was to determine whether those unidentified objects were celestial or terrestrial. And see, the IIP team said that the stars and planets over the horizon appear very bright. Why? Because of increased atmospheric transparency at the high altitudes. So, therefore, both Jupiter and Venus looked the brightest planet in the sky at that time. And what did the local farmers say? That they have video trapped the flying object that do not seem to be planet. And UFO experts says that there have been so many UFO sighting in the area that there may be underground UFO base in that area. So see in this we can see all the UFOs. The article, full article says the different views of different people according to Trushar Prabhu what is and according to Lance Nayak Manmohan and according to the local farmer, all of their views according to their views. See, now moving towards the activity 6. See, in this activity 6, the main idea of the short article UFOs in India, planes or planets, is that UFOs have been sighted and there are different ideas about what they might be. See, different idea we discussed above ahead. The article expresses its main idea by gathering information from a number of different sources. Different sources are there, and see in each source they give us different information also about UFOs sighting. So read the article carefully and record the different information that each source gives us. See, all they have asked us, we have to record it out, read it, and see. Let us think as discuss about first BBC News. Source BBC News. What was the information given? That Indian Army has spent 6 months watching, and they thought that they might be airplanes or satellites. And what authorities they thought that authorities information say that 329 sighting of UFOs were documented over a lake in a patrolled region between last August and February. And telegrams also they say is the same that 320 sightings UFOs document. And see the military sources, what did they say? The objects seem to what did they say? The regular rise from the horizon and slowly they cross the sky. And the army Lance Nayak Manmohan Singh, according to him, there was a delay of 4 minutes in the appearance of one of the object each consecutive day. And the object seemed to be the brightest light in the sky and always appeared to move with respect to the stars. And according to the army officials, as the Indian Institute of the information given by them is that IIAP's Bangalore to identify the object, and according to Trushar Prabhu, an astronomer from IIAP, their task was to identify whether the object was celestial or terrestrial. And what did the IIAP team? The information given by them was that the stars and planets over the horizon appear very bright. Why? Because of increased atmospheric transparency at the high altitude, and that both Jupiter and Venus at that time were the brightest planet in the sky. And the local farmers who were over there, they have video trapped objects that do not seem to be planets. And what UFO experts give information that there have been so many UFO sighting in the area that there may be underground UFO base in the area. See, all these were the source, and what were the information, the different information given by them according to their point of view. So I hope you all have understood till here. Thank you for listening.